Hello everyone, this is Ginger from Webwench DIY Nails, and I'm here today to continue in this Northern Lights manicure that I started in the last video. It's been over a week now since I did all of this, so I hesitated there, sorry. As this is the end of that Northern Lights application, and I'm at the phase where I'm putting my cuticle oil on, as you can see. But I wanted to show this again because if you'll notice throughout this little clip, the portion of the nail near the cuticle line is more bulbous and bulky than I like. I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing wrong that makes this happen. It might be the builder gel that I have as a base is just not, it doesn't have the apex correct, so I'm building on top of a mistake to begin with. But here you'll see that that bulk by the cuticle line is not, see, you can see it on the other nails here. I don't like it, and what I did before I was ready to stamp was my prep steps for this video are going to be, the entire video is prep. You're going to see what happens after. In order to take down the bulk by the cuticle area that we see here, I had to buff and file off this shiny top coat, and then I had to reshape near the cuticle area, and I wound up shaping down or filing down the sides also, because this was such a bulky application that the nails, the coffin shape that I had painstakingly filed to get the shape better was kind of overtaken by this application's bulk. So in a few seconds here, when we get to the actual video, you'll see the result of, after this, going in, filing off the top coat, reshaping my nails, left the sides white. So in this video, I'm going to bring you through how I fixed that, what I did to mask the fact that I filed after the application was complete. And then I go in and I show you how I prep the nail itself, nails, all of them, for the stamping. This video ends with the application of the gel base coat cured, leaving that sticky layer. That sticky layer is what is prepped for the stamping. I hope you enjoy. Time for some design. First, I want to show you the reshaping that I've done. I usually keep a manicure one color for a couple of days because I take that time to evaluate my shape, since that's something I'm concentrating on improving. And the apex built back too far, so I wound up having to file this end. See, that didn't happen on this hand. So I filed down the bulk at the cuticle and let the apex build that way, and then I filed down this way. I kind of like the claw look. My nails naturally bend down after a certain length anyway. See, and that's something I fight in filing as well. But there's only so much fighting you can do. I choose to keep my natural nails, so this is something I have to deal with. But I've kind of learned to appreciate it, because I know people hate this claw pose, but it illustrates why I like that look. I wind up like having that curve, that claw look. It's primal. I like it. Anyway. So now that I've filed and I'm ready to start doing my design work, before I do that, I want to just touch up some of the color. Like here, I filed down to my builder gel. So I need to just cover, like, especially the edges where I've filed. Because I don't necessarily need to have color there, but the white of the builder gel underneath kind of draws attention to the wrong place on the nail. So I'm going to cover it with this tri-color thermal that I used here. It's called Northern Lights. It's by Sparkle & Co. And it also glows in the dark. I love a good glow in the dark. It's just so much fun. I have fun with it anyway. So I'm just going to put a little in my work area here. Sparkle & Co. really stuffs their jars full. They will never be accused of not including enough powder in their packages. So when you open them up, just beware. You might have a little spillage to deal with. What I find is that when I put the powder in the cupcake liner here to work from, it gets nice and fluffy, which is exactly what we want. Excuse me. But that also makes it take up more space when you put air between each particle, blah, 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 blah. Science. So when I go to put this back in the jar, it's still gonna be overfilled, but that's, that's all right. I would rather have it be overfilled than underfilled. That would just make me upset and not want to go back to that vendor. So there's that. I'm still working with Dipster's HEMA-free gel base, and mostly that's because it was new. I was testing it. I also tested their clear when I built an apex for this hand. It is true. I tested the theory. When you're using the gel method and you're using a gel base, if you're encapsulating, if your desire is to encapsulate in clear, do not do it with a gel base using clear dip powder, because the gel base causes the clear, in all of the cases that I've tested, it causes the clear to speckle. So you wind up with white dots. If you want to encapsulate in clear powder, use the dip liquids to do it. Then you'll get a clearer result. If you're using a gel method and you want to stick to your gel liquids, these are HEMA free. Did I mention that? I love that. Just use a coat of the gel base by itself. Wipe off the sticky layer and then do your filing and buffing. At this point, with all the filing that I've done, I'm pretty sure there's no gel base left. There's definitely no top coat left. I purposely filed that off because now I'm going to go in with the gel base, very strategically placed. This is not going to be a full layer. I'm going to go in with the gel base and I'm going to add the powder just where I need it. This is not going to be another full layer of powder. I'm just trying to, it's like a touch-up. It's like just a little touch-up. And I want to do it nice and thin because I do not want to file anymore. I am done filing. I filed enough. I've filed quite a bit, actually. I am done filing is my message. So I make sure I get it off my skin. And I just take this makeup brush, tap off the original bulk, and just put it exactly where I need it. Now this is a step that a lot of people don't take. It's extra time, it's extra steps. This is a process for me. This is a hobby that I tweak a little every day. Eventually I will get to the point. This is my weekend, I do this stuff over the weekend as I'm sitting playing video games after I've done my chores and I'm wondering what to do with myself. I look down at my nails and I say, well, I could certainly fix that, couldn't I? Or I could, I'm tired of this design. Let's do a new design. This is what happens. So, all right, I think I've gotten everything I needed to get with this nail, just so that it's a consistently colored edge. This will put the smile on my face for this design. I notice sometimes when I take the pictures for Instagram and stuff like that, that's when I notice, oh, look at that entire area I missed. It takes the photograph, the close-up in the photograph for me to notice, so, or be able to see, I don't know. So we just do a little touch-up. Very thin, just a hint so that I get the coverage I need without adding a ledge, or, you know, I don't want it to be noticeable. And this is where I need to cover that little bit of builder gel at the tip. Get there. This will also seal in the free edge so that the peel base I used will last longer. And these won't come popping off on me. Again, making sure that I don't leave a ledge. Now, leaving a ledge is just something I'm super paranoid about. But remember that you're going to be putting top coat on over this before you stamp, because when you use gel top coat under your stamping, if you make a mistake while you're stamping, you can easily wipe it off with alcohol and nobody's the wiser. So that is why I will be doing a top coat over this base coat of touch-up. Having said that, when I do that coat of top coat over this, it will fill in whatever ledge I might have left with the touch-up areas, so I'm not too worried about it. Again, you just need patience. You cannot rush through this process and expect perfect results, in my experience. And that's how we make, that's how it happens. That's how you get areas that are all of a sudden blank in your pictures. Take that off my skin. Where did that come from? Over here, but it still looks covered, so I'm just going to tap a little bit on there anyway, because I nudged it and it wound up in my finger. Just make sure there's no liquid there. I think we're good, just to be sure. Thin layers, Ginger. Thin layers. You're not filing anymore. Thin layers, thin layers. Okay, thin layers. Here we go. Covering up these little spots that I filed away. That will show up in pictures. Sealing in the edge so that my nails don't pop off, because I did use pale base. Once you file around your cuticles, you're breaking that seal and making it easier for your nails to pop off. That's why before you try to pop them off purposely, you file around the edges. It's starting to cool off here in upstate New York, and I'm so thankful. I don't take to the heat very well. My people are from Scotland, so, you know, if it's not overcast, I'm just not having it. I am one of those people that walks around with a parasol in the summertime, and I jump from one shady spot to the next. It is a thing. It is a challenge. I don't even realize I'm doing it anymore. But as I make new friends and I meet new people, I have to like warn them, okay, this is the deal. Allergic to the sun, so this is what I do. So much fun. And again, very lightly. Just so I can get the color to stick so that I don't see this white. These white edges are going to drive me crazy if they're there. And they will draw attention from the design I'm about to put on there, so gotta get rid of it. I'm struggling with, maybe you guys can help. Anybody watching this want to leave a comment and help me out here? I'm trying to decide if I should do my videos like this, live style, real time, where I'm talking in the video as I do it. Not just because then I wouldn't have to do a voiceover, which are interesting to do, I don't mind it really. It's just an extra step I wish I didn't have to take. Or if you would prefer, I double speed through this part and just do a voiceover so that I can do that. Because when I do the real time, you know, the videos are going to be a lot longer, and I noticed that most people do shorter videos because the attention span of people today is a lot shorter than it used to be, and I just don't know what would work better. I enjoy longer videos because I play them in the background as I do my manicures usually. I play them in the background while I do my gaming. I play them in the background whenever I can. So, I mean, what do you guys like? Do you like the shorter videos? Do you like a mix and match? You know, a mix of both of those so that you have something to choose from? Do you look to different YouTubers for different styles for that reason? Maybe my voice annoys you, so you wouldn't listen to me in real time or wouldn't want to. Just let me know. I kind of like doing it this way because then I get to chat, you get to know me a little bit more, but maybe you don't want to get to know me. I don't know. Tell me what you want. I would like to grow this channel, mainly because this is something I'm really passionate about, and I don't live with any females. I don't live with anyone. I don't live with anyone that does their nails. So I don't have anybody to talk to about this stuff that's really interested. So I'm hoping to find like minds here on YouTube to fill that gap for me. I do belong to a couple of Facebook nail groups that I'm enjoying. So that is an outlet that I enjoy using also. Okay, I think we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and quickly cure that, and then I'm just gonna brush that off, and then I'm going to think about, I'm gonna use these stamping designs. See, here we go. I'm gonna try to get this back in here. Kind of worked. I got most of it in there. We Gucci. I'll just put that over there for now. Clean off the brush by banging it against the table. Wasteful. Wasteful. Look at all that acrylic powder, dipping powder, whatever. You guys know that's acrylic, right? There are a lot of dip powders you can use monomer with as well. And it's pretty much, I don't know, I think I get pretty close to salon quality nails by doing them myself. That is my goal. My daughter, you know, she gets complimented on the nails I do for her all the time, and people can't believe that it wasn't done in a salon. It's very gratifying. She flips her hair and says, "My mom did it." I love that. Alright, so these are now ready for a coat of top coat. I may just buff them just a little bit, maybe. Do I want to stop myself before I make a mistake? I think that looks good. It's better anyway. At least the edges are covered now and they won't draw attention away from our design. And I did get to cover the builder gel that was showing through. I think I'm just going to go right in with the base coat. Maybe first I will wipe off with alcohol just to make sure there's no powder left, and that will also act like a dehydrator and primer in my mind. Anyway, make sure there's no powder left from the filing in my cuticle area. Checking to make sure from every angle there's nothing I would want to buff out, but of course there is. And by rights, I should do the base layer first before I buff anything. I may not need to buff after that either, so let's just do that. I talk myself in and out of things all the time. It's very fresh. We start here and then we push up to get a nice thin layer by the cuticle without building up that nasty, bulky cuticle like I had last time. This is a learning process for me. Everything is a lesson. Every failure is a step in the right direction, having learned. You got to apply the knowledge from your mistakes that you learn. You know, adjust accordingly. Again, sealing in that peel off base. I can easily get another week out of these nails. In full design now, by the way. And since this is the thumb, I'm going to just cure this quick, 30 seconds, so that it doesn't settle in a weird slanted way, because the gel base as well as the gel top will self-level. That's why I hold them upside down. In most cases, that helps build a natural apex. But just because I'm going to be working on my other fingers, my thumb would therefore be sideways, and it would all gather on this edge of the nail here. So now I've cured it, that gel's not moving anywhere. So again, I'm taking the bulk of the gel base off my brush against the sides of the bottle. I'm starting in the middle where I want the bulk for the apex, and I'm pushing back towards the cuticle so I get a very thin layer there, so I don't get that bulky, ugly buildup that I had to file off today. Taking the knowledge of my punishment of extra filing today and applying it to this application. And what is this fuzzy that keeps getting on everything? Alright, you're out of here, buddy. And just a little bit more to make sure I've sealed in these edges, because I do want this one to last. This is, again, Northern Lights by Sparkle & Co. And as soon as I saw this on their site, I knew I had to have it. It's a triple thermal. So this color here, as you can see, is the warm color. Oops. And when it gets cooler, it turns into this lighter purple, and then as it gets really cold, it turns into that really dark purple, almost navy. And with the air conditioning still on, with the temperatures going down here in upstate New York, I have noticed that my nails are mostly navy blue. The liquids that I'm using right now are a little cooler, so they're changing the color as I put the gel on my nails, but that's okay. I want to make sure I have this encapsulated so I don't get lifting. I normally do not have an issue with lifting. And maybe it's because I take this kind of painstaking attention to everything. If I get gel on my skin, I wipe it off immediately. I try not to cure gel onto my skin because I've heard that's how you expose yourself to getting a gel allergy, and I do not want that because I am enjoying this way too much. That's why I'm trying the Dipster's HEMA-free gels here today. Again, put it where I want the bulk, and then push in towards the cuticle, letting the brush fan out and do the work for me so that my layers stay nice and thin. Again, getting those edges, sealing in my side walls and the free edge, encapsulating the color, and making sure that this manicure lasts because I think it's a good one. Northern Lights not only is a triple thermal, but it is also glow in the dark. And I can't tell you how much I missed not having my nails glow when I had a different manicure on. I was like, oh, disappointing. Wake up in the middle of the night, look for your nails, you can't see them. Yes, I do that. Everybody does that, right? That's normal, right? No, I've never really made any concerted effort to be normal, so. All right, that's the base coat. I'm going to keep my hand upside down just for a few seconds, letting gravity do its thing and pull the gel towards the top of the nails so that it creates a natural apex for me away from the cuticle. I'll slant sometimes just to make sure it's not getting near the cuticle because I just filed those to get rid of that bulk. So I do that, and then I put it in here for 30 seconds because it's base coat. And this will have a sticky layer on top, so that sticky layer is going to help my stamps, pull my stamps off the stamper. And I mean, it's a sticky layer. It's slightly tacky. It's not gushy, sticky. What I'm going to do after this is done curing is I'm going to take a good look from every angle just to make sure there is nothing that needs to be filed down or adjusted, because I did get rid of the bulk near the cuticle, which helped me build an apex for these. That's good for, the apex is necessary when these are my natural nails, and these are pretty long. So stress on the nail hits about right here. That's why that's where you want the apex to build the strength, so that if that happens to you, that's not lifting, is it? No, okay. If that happens to you, you have the strength where you need it to avoid a break. Or at least I'm comfortable knowing that I've done everything I know how to avoid a break. So now my nails have an apex in the right place, not the bulk near the cuticle like it was. Those pictures are up on Instagram if you want to see. You'll see what I mean. These look a lot more salon quality, let's just say. Okay. And see how this triple thermal changes? It's like tie-dye. It's like nebula. I love it. Okay. So this is the sticky layer. I am now ready to do some stamping. And we're back. In the next video, you'll see this stamping session where I use the Maniology Box of Shadows stamping kit to create this look. I wasn't happy with the index finger and the thumb, so I wound up going over those with some of my glitters. I will explain that in the next video. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. Bye.